In a locked glass case, inside a museum that no longer lets visitors in, sits a doll. A sign warns, do not open the case. Do not touch the glass. Do not mock her. Over the last 50 years, at least 2 men who ignored that warning did not walk away unhurt. One died in a motorcycle crash hours after taunting her. This is the story of Annabelle and the 2 nurses who let something in without knowing it. The year is 1970. In a small apartment in Hartford, Connecticut, a nursing student named Donna shares her home with her roommate. For her birthday, Donna's mother buys her a secondhand Raggedy Ann doll from a hobby shop. Worn, soft, unremarkable. It sits on the couch. It sits on the bed. For weeks, it is simply a doll. Then Donna notices something. She leaves the doll on the bed in the morning. She comes home to find it on the couch. She moves it back. The next day, it happens again. She tells herself it's nothing. Maybe her roommate is playing a joke, but her roommate swears she never touched it. The movements grow bolder. One evening, Donna finds the doll's arms crossed in a way she never left them. Then come the notes. Scraps of parchment paper appearing around the apartment. Paper neither girl owns. The messages are short, desperate. Help us. Help Lou. Lou is a friend who visits often and who has never hidden his hatred of the doll.
Frightened but curious, the girls consult a medium. What she tells them chills the room. Long before the apartment building existed, the land was an open field. In that field, she says, a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins died. A spirit, lonely and drawn to the only young people nearby, has been trying to reach them. Through the doll, the girls make a choice they will come to regret. Moved by pity for a lonely child's ghost, they say yes. Annabelle Higgins may live in the doll with them. For a while, nothing changes. But slowly, the doll's behavior turns from strange to something colder. Something with intent. One night, Donna returns home to find the doll lying on her bed. Its hands stained with a red substance that looks unmistakably like blood. There is no source for it anywhere in the apartment. That is the night Donna decides enough is enough. The doll has to go. Before the doll can be destroyed, Lou, the friend who despised it most, falls asleep in the apartment. He wakes up screaming, clutching his throat. Deep red claw marks now cross his neck, as though invisible hands tried to strangle him in his sleep. The wounds are real. The attacker is not. Terrified, the girls call the Episcopal Church in Hartford. The priest who answers connects them to 2 paranormal investigators who have built careers chasing exactly this kind of case. Ed and Lorraine Warren. When the Warrens arrive and examine the doll, their conclusion is immediate and worse than anyone expected. There was never a little girl. What has been living among them is something that only wore a child's story to get in the door. The Warrens take the doll into their custody. On the drive back to their home, the car begins to behave strangely. The engine stalling for no reason, on a road with no mechanical explanation. Ed pulls over, faces the bag on the back seat, and speaks directly to whatever is inside. He tells it plainly. It has no power over him. The car starts. They do not stop again.
Back home, the Warrens placed the cursed doll on a shelf. A visiting priest laughed at their claims, mocking the doll aloud. He called the whole case nonsense, right to its face. But the darkness doesn't forget a slight so easily. Hours later, on his drive home, his brakes failed without warning. His car struck a tree in the middle of nowhere. He survived, but only barely. As he climbed from the wreckage, the isolation of the dark woods felt suffocating. The driver's seat was empty, the door swinging in the wind. He never mocks the doll again. Something was watching. Some things are better left undisturbed in the dark. Welcome to a night you won't forget.
Realizing the doll cannot simply be thrown away or burned, the Warrens do the only thing that seems to work. They build a case. Reinforced glass, a warning sign, a blessing from a priest sealed into the wood. Annabelle is placed inside, not destroyed, just contained. For the next 5 decades, she will not leave that case without incident, following close behind. Over the decades that follow, the stories multiply. A biker taunts the case and dies in a crash that same night. A museum visitor claims the doll left psychic slashes on his skin without ever touching him. Skeptics point out none of this is independently verified. The Warrens were the only witnesses, and their museum was, by their own admission, built to draw crowds. Whether Annabelle is a genuine haunting or the most successful piece of folklore of the 20th century may be a question with no final answer. Today the doll's case is no longer open to the public. The museum closed its doors, and ownership of the collection has since changed hands. But the case, by all accounts, remains sealed. Somewhere, behind reinforced glass, a warning sign still reads the same 3 words it always does. Do not. Whether you believe a doll can hold something from beyond, or believe the real horror is how easily fear turns into legend, one thing is certain. The case is still locked. And somewhere, tonight, it is still sitting exactly where they left it, waiting for someone who forgets the warning. If you dare to see what other cursed objects have been locked away, subscribe, because next time we open another case.